All right, everybody, welcome in to a Friday afternoon emergency episode of the DMVR Rapids podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Carroll, aka Merchel, and I am joined by Gyasi Zardes, the super producer. We are, of course,
Brr,
brought
brr,
to you
brr,
by
brr.
Let's go, dude. Hit the horns, man. This is huge. Rapids, of course, acquire today. Breaking news from Jeff Carlisle. They acquire Gyasi Zardes, U.S. men's national team and Columbus Crew striker, for $300,000 in GAM money this season, plus up to $1.25 million if all incentives are met. The Rapids and the Crew are working to finalize the trade with the league office in time for the striker to be available for tomorrow's game against Charlotte. Yeah. I mean, my head's spinning. So tell me, what's your initial thoughts? Give me your first feeling on the trade.
First of all, how insane is it that he might be ready tomorrow? When I heard that, I thought that was pretty insane for him to be ready tomorrow when the trade is on a Friday and the game's on a Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely a little surprising. I wonder if there is some moves in hand. I saw some talk on Twitter about Andre Shinyashiki being asked about around the league, and maybe Korg wants to kind of put him on ice until a move can be made. And in that case, it makes a lot of sense to have Zardes ready as soon as possible.
I do get that part, having him ready as soon as possible, but like one day to the other, that turnaround to me is completely insane.
It's got to be odd for him. I mean, to just all of a sudden be like, oh, I'm a Crew today, I'm a Rapid tomorrow. Like it's got to be a rush for him, and it's obviously a rush for fans who've been screaming for a DP number 9 striker and a national team level striker is now a DP 9 level player for the Colorado Rapids.
And again, with I don't think he has the DP designation either, right?
I don't think he will. I don't know. I mean, if they're just absorbing his contract, I think that's how that works. Because he is a 9 over there, because the move opened up a DP spot for them to acquire someone else.
Oh, okay.
So
I haven't seen all the little details. I don't know a lot about his current contract.
Dude, the MLS has the most complicated contract structures. It's, maybe he's not a DP if he comes here, but the thing is I think because Viacia slotted into the same contract level that he had with Cincinnati, I believe Zardes will do the same. So he will actually be the only DP player on the Colorado Rapids roster.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Last year they did it all without a DP. Look how far they can go this year with the DP. Well, to begin with, I am really excited about the Zardes trade. I know you were the one that was like banging the table for it.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah.
I just really, I'm surprised it happened now instead in the summer.
Yeah, me too. I mean, that was always.
Go ahead.
That was our talking point. Was like, guys, you need to chill because nothing's happening, right? Like, nothing is going to happen from now until July. So just love the team as is, because being worried about it is a fool's errand, because they can't do anything. And then all of a sudden, not right before the deadline, but a few weeks before the deadline, they make the move.
For sure. That's the one thing. I was relaxing today. I was doing another pod, and then all of a sudden I get this, like, I'm scrolling through Twitter and I see, Zardes to the Rapids. I was completely mind blown. I'm like, nah. I looked to see what day it was, because I'm like, is it April 1st? Like, I had to make double sure that it wasn't like a sick joke. I had to make sure it was like an actual verified check mark that he had. I was like, it's not just one of those emojis people put on to make it look like it. But again, I am super excited. I'm over here losing my breath, as you can tell. But I'm super excited for Zardes to come in. I think he's going to be what this team is missing. He comes in and is the perfect Poreg and Rubio and a Frazier guy. And I think he's going to be the perfect complement to Rubio.
It's a great compliment to Rubio. I do think this raises a lot of questions about how Frazier is going to employ the roster. Is he probably, ideally, and I saw me and Wanners had a quick little back and forth about it on Twitter today. I think ideally you just stick Rubio and Zardes together up top, and you send Barrios to the bench and Lewis as well. and you bring Acosta, could bring Max, but Acosta to me makes the most sense. So you line up with Max just a little bit in front. Just Max a little bit in front, helping attack, those two behind. Your wing backs going up and down. I agree with what Joseph just said right there too. Shout out Joseph. Joseph was, I think he had a thread from January talking about Zardes. Will he play tomorrow? He might feature, right? I mean, he might.
Yeah, for sure.
He could come on for 10, 20 minutes just to get it, just to get in front of the fans. Fans are going to lose their mind.
Are we going to get a little Zardes Max at the same time coming in?
Oh.
And just completely blow the roof off? Like, there's no roof there's no roof, of course, but is that where we're going to get a little explosion at the dick?
Oh, my God.
Is the dick going to explode this weekend?
The dick would be popping, dude.
And here to Logan's point too, that's going to be dangerous, man. As the year goes on, they start learning how they play. We've said this all year long. We've said this when we talk about it privately. Rubio is a false nine.
Yep.
Rubio is not a full-on striker that's going to shoot from everywhere. Zardes is. Mm-hmm. And okay, here comes my nationalism. Mm-hmm. As a Mexico fan, he reminds me a lot of Chicharito without the European success. A poacher, somebody that's going to score, somebody that if you give him the chance to score, he'll be right there ready to make any chance worthwhile.
I think it is a perfect fit. He isn't, like the high skill guy. He doesn't have the footwork and ball skills of like a Max or, some super high level strikers, but he puts himself in the right position. He knows how to play off of extremely talented players, as he's done on the national team. And he's done throughout his MLS career. And I just love a mindset like that with a mindset like Frazier in charge. I think it is a perfect fit. Is it the best DP9 they could have got? No. Was it kind of expensive? It could be. But here's the thing. If he hits those incentives, I think every dollar is worth it there, right? Like, if those incentives are hit, it's earned.
Exactly, because some of them is like, win the MLS Cup, win the Golden Boot. Like, it's things up there like that you can really see. And it's like, if it's all hits, it's 1.25, right, million. But if it hits, you're not complaining. You got an MLS Cup and you got a Golden Boot winner on the other side. Like you're like, why would you complain? Like again, this might be a little bit of a hype cast. And again, I know a lot of people. I saw on Twitter for sure talking a lot about how, it's really expensive, 300 in GAM. I don't know how I feel about that. The thing is, it's not how you feel about it. They did what you were asking for such a long time. The fans were asking for a striker. They were asking for somebody new. They did it in a way that it positioned themselves for this year, next year, and it still gives them flexibility come summertime if they want to bring another DP9, like Kevin Trujillo's talking right here. Like, what are the chances they bring another DP9?
Okay.
What are the chances? It all depends on how Zardes does.
I don't think they're bringing another DP9 at all. I see Porg doing his thing and mining out high value, low recognition guys. That's your guy, and I could see him doing a move like a Brenner, like a developmental piece. Here's the thing, man: they have so many developmental pieces already. You almost wonder if it's like, do we go get a DP level defensive guy, right? Like, word on the street, maybe John Brooks wants to make the jump from middling his career in Germany, wants to jump back to America in the MLS. Or, is it a move like that? I now see that definitely more than I see adding more strikers here in a couple months.
And let's just put all the chips on the middle of the table. Let's just go get Gareth Bale. Elite left winger, elite right winger. Let's just go all in. Let's have a front three of Max, Gareth Bale, and Zardes, and then Rubio playing the false nine.
Sure. Yeah, why not? Yeah, sure. Let's go for it. Look, man, Porg, he's been on fire. I mean, he has, in my mind, he has really proven that he is worth every penny there. He is giving Frazier. Yeah, you're right, Kevin. You're right. I think Frazier is getting the pieces he needs to be successful. I love his agreeing with me. I love that.
Well, yeah, you said Brooks, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah."
Look,
A
I do think that's a
Bundesliga
realistic
level
thing.
talent.
It's going to cost some money, but I don't think it's going to cost a prohibitive amount of money.
Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, of course.
I just think it falls in. Can they pick up points? Can they pick up points between now and the next window?
And again, what just happens is it gives the team flexibility, which is what I love with this move. It doesn't hard cap them. It doesn't take away some of their really some of the high value assets to acquire a striker that's going to do exactly what you need next to Rubio. A lot of comparisons to Kai Kamara. Kai Kamara was dope when he was here with the Rapids. This is exactly what the Rapids needed, and they didn't give up their what's it called? They didn't give up the farm. You know, they didn't give up a high amount of money. It's just the perfect to me. It's the perfect trade. Perfect. It's just exactly what you need.
It's perfect. Dude, I'm assuming. I don't know. Do we have any other comments in there that we can pull up? You can see them.
Not right now.
Jump in the comments, man. I want to know how you guys are feeling. I want to know because, I think this is this answers the chatter completely. This is the answer to what Rapids fans were asking for, right? I mean,
of course. You got your BP9,
and it's a winning move. This is a move to get points. They've only scored 2 goals in 2 games, right? And that was the home opener against Atlanta and a week later against Sporting Kansas City.
Yeah.
It has been a long time without multiple goals. Going and getting Zardes is we're going to score some fucking goals, man.
I'm just getting excited thinking about Zardes, man.
Yeah.
And it's going to be, I think, how you're talking about. And what I want to talk about a little bit here in the next 5-10 minutes, it's how will they line up? I know you got into it a little bit on Twitter, but just kind of here for the people on the pod, what do you think they're going to go with?
Okay, so obviously, leave the 5 in back. Do not touch the 5.
Mitch,
Cheap,
I think you're cutting off a little bit.
Wilson, here. Lawless. They are. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you repeat that? Okay, just repeat that for the last. Yeah, repeat what you just said about the back 5.
Sure. Yeah, no problem. Sorry, I'm upstairs. I've never done a podcast from up here at the office. Okay, so keep the back 5, right? Leave them there. I think that is a rock solid. I think it is one of the best position groups in the entire MLS. Do not touch it. Zardes paired with Rubio up top, they are going to work very well off each other. I think that is it's complementing styles, not necessarily contrasting. I don't think they play the same. I don't think they're that different, but I do think the way they can position themselves and play off each other is going to be nice. The midfield is now a question to me. I think that has been, while I think they have a great midfield, I think you need to supplement Price and Max because Max is going to have to play up with those guys. And I think you just need to bring in Acosta over Max. And I think Max can be a sub. I think Max can get his spot starts when people need a break. But I think you bring in Acosta and Price to hold down sort of the back end of the midfield, play Mac a little bit in front of them, and have your wings still support attack and have Zardes and Rubio up top. Does that make sense? I mean, that was my initial thought.
That makes a lot of sense. Just kind of thinking about what we were talking about yesterday with Brandon. Now you're gonna have Brian Acosta being a box-to-box midfielder, helping Price and Mac. Mac can focus on the front part. Price can focus on the back part. And I said the duo of Zardes and Rubio is gonna be a great complement. You leave the back 5 how it is because that's the best defensive the best defensive line in all the MLS, in my opinion. You look at it. I'm not talking about stats. I'm talking about how they play, how they keep up with each other, how they communicate. So this team is going to be fun to watch. Sorry.
I'm dancing over here, baby. Let's go.
Man, I'm coughing. I'm coughing up all the hate I had.
Dude, it's 2 days late, yeah. Come on.
Dude, no, and the thing, okay, the way I think about this as well, like you look at how they're doing this. I love Acosta finally being able to come in. Mac gets tired. You bring in Max. You just change the last letter of that name, and you got somebody else that can run to the wings as well. And then you also have Lucas and Keegan doing great job on the wings. I think it's going to be a great formation for them. Go with the 5-3-2. I think if they want to change it up, they could even, if they want to get a little bit more attacking, they could go with the 3. They could go with the 4-3-3. And I think the midfield were like something like Mac, Price, and Rubio playing that central attacking position, and then you have whoever you want on that left wing, which is whether it's Jonathan Lewis or whether it's Max, and on the right side you have Barrios, and you put Zardes down the middle. It's just gonna like help. Like now, again, the flexibility is the lovely part of this move. You don't
Absolutely.
your farm now. Your lineups have a lot of flexibility. Let's say Danny Wilson is having some issues with his hamstring still. You don't want to keep playing Drew Moore. You don't have YFC already. What do? Go back to a 4. Let Lucas keep going up. Turn it into a back 3 here and there. Now you go into a 4-3-3, and you're all fixed for at least 1 or 2 games. So
Absolutely.
it's gonna give them a lot of like flexibility formation wise as well.
I do think I would look for a move out, right? And I don't know specifically what it is. The rumors are Shinya Shiki, who kind of has tailed off after a promising rookie season, obviously MLS Rookie of the Year in 2019, and since has kind of fallen off. He's only started 1 match this year so far. I would look to see him, move into an opportunity that can be, good for him, good for growth. Maybe, I mean, I know Austin is looking for strikers. Their group of 9s is terrible. Somehow they're still scoring goals, but it's, I think they make the most sense for a Shinya. So I would see if there's something there. But yeah, man, Zardes is perfect, man, and I think the fans that are hopping in the comment section, you guys are right. It's going to be awesome, man. Hey, Matthew, I don't. The rules are so weird with MLS contracts. I believe the same contract slot is filled with the trade. So he was a DP there. I think he'll be a DP here in Colorado. There is no DP slots currently filled, so it doesn't affect any other contracts or anything like that. You don't need to fill any shenanigans or anything in there. I believe all the other roster spots that he could fit into are actually full. If Joseph is still listening, I'm sure he can drop something in there, or just check out his Twitter later today. I'm sure he'll break down everything.
What are the kind of talking about that?
Mm-hmm.
You were talking about like a player going out. Which player would you prefer to go out if you had a choice of somebody leaving?
I do think it's Andre. Honestly, I think this move kind of takes all his minutes. I think Lewis has fit in well. I know you've been frustrated with him, but it's pretty clear to me that Frazier trusts him and trusts the system and wants to use him at elevation and kind of use that speed late in games, especially against like Eastern Conference teams. It just makes a lot of sense to me. Right? I mean, it's tough because I think there's a few guys that could use a change of pace, but to me, that makes the most sense.
I'm fully with you, man. I'd rather keep Jonathan Lewis 10 out of 10 than Andre Shinishiki. For that same reason, Frazier trusts him. He's a speed demon. He could, if you ever want to switch formations, you can, and that would help you out too. And the other thing is, Galvan isn't here, so we need another winger. We can't have only 2 with Barrios and Jonathan. And also, you do have Yappy up there too on the 9, like Nikki was saying. He wouldn't be the only. He'd be the only. No, they can promote Yappy and start giving him spot minutes and help him get ready to get comfortable.
Yappy has featured already this season, so I mean, I do think that there's something there. I mean, he's only 17. He's a kid, but clearly has the skill to compete at the MLS level.
The whole organization is super high on him, of what we heard of.
And I think what is kind of lost in that comment there, and I didn't see who it was from.
Sorry, Nikki over here.
This is to Nikki, to that comment directly. I think this changes their formation, and they're only playing 2 attackers at a time. Now, can they bring in a third off the bench? Max has positional flexibility to play up on the wing, to play back in midfield. I just think with one less attacker in the starting lineup, I don't think losing a guy like Andre really limits them, especially if you have Lewis and Barrios off the bench.
Yeah, again, I'm super hyped. I hope you guys are excited. I hope if you're listening right now, please go to the Rapids game tomorrow. It's gonna be a lot of fun. You guys are gonna super enjoy it.
Yeah.
So like, there's a cry. There's a cry to everybody out there that if you haven't seen the Rapids, you haven't been to a Rapids game. It's gonna be tomorrow's gonna be it's gonna be history if you go tomorrow. First time they ever faced Charlotte. An expansion.
It's gonna be fun, man. Right, I bet you. Look, it's not the only show in town. It literally is. It's the only show in town. Show up, free parking, $10 at the tailgate with C38. There'll be a bus leaving out of here. I'm not sure if it's sold out yet. Sorry if it is, but check it out if it's not. We'll have a bus out of the bar downstairs. right to the tailgate. You'll get hot dogs, pizza, beer, live entertainment, merch opportunities, hundreds of Rapids fans hanging out together before the game. Definitely worth it. Definitely support them. I'll be doing my game thread as always from the press box. Yaya, are you going to make it to the game tomorrow?
I think so.
Let's go.
My schedule
Let's
is
go.
lining up perfectly for me to go. So I think I'm
Mhm.
going to be there tomorrow.
Perfect. Shout out RK in the back there. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this week's episode of the DNVR Rapids podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the DNVR Sports YouTube page. Subscribe to the DNVR Rapids feed on your favorite podcast app. Like this show. Become a member at thednvr.com. Buy your shirts from me, Merchel, at DNVR Locker. And, check the game feed tomorrow. We'll do some post-game action. You'll see us on the show next week. And until then, up the Pids.